All right. So the visual and verbal connection is key, as we talked about in part 1. But once you have mastered that, try adding some different devices for even more exciting and attention-getting headlines. And this, to me, is something that I love, and I love to do this also with the lead-ins. So have fun with it. If it makes you smile, or if it kind of makes you laugh, or your the other people on staff laugh, or, kind of draws them in, or they think that's a really good one, think about what it's going to do to the people that are actually looking at the book or, reading your article. So, first one is alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of the beginning sounds of words. Think tongue twisters. Here it is. Here it's the F that is repeated and connected to the dominant photo of the boy on the Florida trip. So, Florida focus. All right. On this spread about spending money, we've got 2 examples of alliteration. We have penny pincher in the dominant, that goes along with the dominant photo. And then we also have paper or plastic, that shows a boy packing groceries. We've even got additional alliteration on the mod on the lower right with the F's in fundraising with food. So it's really a triple play here of your alliteration. All right, and again, here we have beyond bookcases. This is about how students use more than books in the media center. So again, it's about beyond books, and that photo shows that as well. Bouncing baby boys. I think this is a homecoming game where they're drinking out of baby bottles here. All right, the next one is onomatopoeia. And we don't see onomatopoeias very often, but it's always an option. Onomatopoeia is a fancy word for words that sound the same as the actual sounds, like ripple or crash or buzz. This book used onomatopoeia for all their student life headlines. So here we have the aha of the homecoming parade. We have yum for school lunch. Okay, rhyming. I also like to do a little bit of rhyming, but sometimes it's a little bit harder. Again, you've got that strong visual and verbal connection of the boy taking aim that makes the connection to the headline there. And the secondary headline explains that this copy is about hunting. This one's pretty clever. It says the Redeem Team. It's kind of a play on the phrase, the Dream Team. Think ink. Sorry, ladies. I know this is... Hope no one is offended by this picture. Nice rhyming on the spread about tattoos here. Stressed press. This talks about deadlines for journalism students. All right, another option is always like pop culture references. So this is in reference to the movie Jerry Maguire. I don't know if you've seen that that movie. Something else you might be able to do there is Mo Money, Mo Problems. I hope that's not beyond your time. Maybe it is, or before your time. Kind of a play on that song. Show me the money. Oh, again, that was Jerry Maguire, but that's also in that song. Even if you've never seen the movie, you probably have heard the phrase before. And this is about, students who work and how they spend their money. Whip It Good. There's a song by Devo. This is in reference to a phrase from a movie, which I don't really know it. Don't mess with the Mohan. Wolf Track, if you can figure that one out. Steal the spotlight there. And that's kind of a play on the word steal there, because there is Superman. So it makes kind of a verbal, visual connection. And, you know, sometimes you'll say someone's stealing the spotlight. I order my knowledge venti size, so kind of on the Starbucks, coffee houses. The student is big on knowledge instead. All right, some of our favorite here, puns and wordplay. So this is a play on the words capital, which is the building, and capital letter, which refers to words. This is a story about the student whose father has ALS, and they made a trip to Washington, D.C. to speak in support of the bill that would create a national registry of all people with ALS in the United States. So again, kind of a play on that word, capital. Mind-goggling. We're familiar with the idea of mind-boggling. And here, by changing the B to a G, we get a great headline that reads to those photos of science students with goggles. On this slide here, we have a play on the word world, and they were able to play on words through the use of homonyms, words that sound like other words, instead of the phrase, you know, around the world, W-O-R-L-D, they did around the world there. Okay, so who hasn't heard of this challenge of Bite Me? But by changing B-I-T-E to B-Y-T-E, this makes the perfect headline for the spread on technology. You know the phrase, are we having fun yet? Here, we've heard this a million times. And here again, this can be some of those overused phrases can be put to some good use for some imaginative headlines. Marching orders, and they kind of just have a whole bunch of, this picture shows marching orders can involve more than just keeping in step on the field there. And this one, in the eye of the beholder. This is actually a story about a student who lost an eye at the age of 4. So he's had a glass eye ever since, and apparently he likes to take it out and talk about it. But anyway, so here we have that puts that visual, verbal connection there. So where can you go for ideas? Just pay attention and look around you. You know, what's going on culturally, what are some lyrics to some songs. You know, when the coffee house craze, kind of coffee houses started popping up everywhere, there was kind of that. Just look around you, look in magazines, look at other newspapers, listen to the radio. It's everywhere. Always make sure that you make that visual verbal connection to really pull the readers into the story. Don't try to write the headline until you see it and think about what words and phrases could link it to the story on the spread. Good luck, guys. You can do it.